like, wow, man, look at that guy. He's me, man. Totally me. And there's another one, man. Besides, now there's like a glowing skull dude over there.
Hanna Barbera, a studio that is responsible for some of the most iconic cartoon characters of all time. The Flintstones, the Jetsons, Yogi Bear, and many, many others. These guys basically had a monopoly on televised cartoons from the 60s to the 70s. But on September 13th, 1969, Scooby Doo, Where Are You? Made its debut. And it was a game changer for Hanna Barbera. It quickly became their most popular show. And Hanna Barbera was like, you can't rip us off. Not if we rip ourselves off first. They knew they struck gold with the Scooby Doo format. And similar shows to follow would include Goober and the Ghost Chasers, Jabberjaw, and Speed Buggy, to name a few. But why did Hanna Barbera go so crazy with the Scooby Doo formula and made so many clones? Spoiler alert, the answer's pretty obvious.
Hello, I like money.
What inspired you to—
Money?
But that's okay, I don't care. I want an excuse to check out all these clones and see what they are about. To see how close they are to Scooby Doo, or how different. I imagine them being clones to begin with means they're pretty close, but I digress. Who cares? We got an excuse, and with the new Scoob movie out, I feel that there's no better time than the present. So let's go find out why Scooby Doo has so many clones. Or, just see the clones. I want to see the talking dune buggy.
Speed buggy.
I see. And do you driver's license?
I didn't know I needed a license to operate myself.
Before we talk about the clones, I want to go over the origin of Scooby Doo. Now, I'm going to keep it very brief, because the origin of Scooby Doo could literally be a video of its own. I'm actually pretty sure there are videos already out there about this subject, and here you go. There's a link in the description. Now, the original show, Scooby Doo, Where Are You?, was created by Joe Ruby and Ken Spears. The studio behind it, of course, was Hanna Barbera. And the first episode was released in September of 1969.
Nice.
It was a massive success. According to my sources, the TV ratings reported that nearly 65% of Saturday morning audiences would tune in to watch it. I want to do a synopsis, but I feel that everybody knows this. Everybody should know what Scooby Doo is. But for the 7 people watching right now who do not know what I'm talking about, Scooby Doo is about 4 teenagers going off to solve mysteries alongside their talking dog. That's the show, more or less. When it comes to inspiration, Scooby Doo, according to my sources, was inspired by I Love a Mystery and Dobie Gills. It's actually really uncanny when you compare Shaggy here to this character from Dobie Gills. It blows my mind.
I got 4 goldfish.
Do any people depend on you?
Yeah. Dobie? No, I kind of depend on him.
There's only one place to find the answer.
Like in the phone book, I hope.
There's also inspiration drawn from a book series called Famous 5, which also featured 4 teenagers solving supernatural mysteries alongside their dog companion. Though I don't know if he talked or not. That's the deal breaker right there. Scooby talks. Makes it completely original. But Hanna Barbera quickly realized that they had struck gold. And they were very quick to churn out more content, whether it be a Scooby Doo spinoff, or a Scooby Doo clone, 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 or a Scooby Doo clone. So, why did Hanna Barbera make so many Scooby Doo clones? Well, the most obvious answer, you guessed it, money. Sweet, delicious money. Scooby was stupid popular, and Hanna Barbera wanted to run with that momentum and make shows that were similar in tone and structure. They took Scooby-Doo and they put him in a chemistry lab and they broke him down to his core elements and discovered the Scooby-Doo formula, which is the following: teenagers, plus mystery plus talking mascot. That is like the core formula. Though there are some like parts of it that are also included. They're not as important. Like that there's a vehicle that they drive around in. That's kind of common, but like not as common as the talking mascot or just having a mascot. The teenagers though, that is very common. The mysteries, that is incredibly common. But yeah, Hanna Barbera figured it out. They're like, oh my God, this is it. We are about to make so much money because of Scooby Doo and his formula. They knew it worked, and they went nuts with it.
As you can see, my client, Mr. Clamhead, and Mr. Tinker here share the same identity. Both have long hair, both solve mysteries, both wear garments of indeterminate yet unmistakably cheap material.
And who was going to stop them? Who could even challenge them? Hanna Barbera had a monopoly on animation around this time. Well, when it came to televised content. They were the biggest name in town, and they knew it. And that is why they went completely ham with Scooby Doo clones. All right, so let's go down the list and check out these clones. I'm gonna try and keep this short and sweet since there's a lot to cover. Oh, by the way, there is a really great thread on Twitter from Jonathan Gray where he goes over Hanna Barbera cartoons that he considers Scooby Doo clones. According to him, there are 22 shows that qualify. But I'm gonna try and narrow things down a bit and try to keep it close to the ones that are the most like Scooby Doo. If you wanna check out his thread and read through it, then boom, down in the description, there's the link. Again, the Scooby Doo formula, teenagers plus mystery plus mascot. That's the formula at its core. Those are the three most common traits. Albeit, there are some shows on this list that only have like 2 of the 3 parts, but even then, they still channel that inner Scooby-Doo. I mean, just look, come on. Like, bro, come on. Oh, and for the record, I do not consider Scooby-Doo's extended family to be ripoffs. Those are part of the Scooby-Doo cinematic universe, not cinematic, part of the Scooby-Doo just lore, I suppose. So I would not include them. Though there's some pretty great ones on this list. You got like Ruby Roo, you got the grandfather, who I'm pretty sure was a Confederate soldier. You got Scooby Dumb. Oh, that would have been a wonderful table talk. What do we call Scooby's brother? I don't know. Scooby Dumb. All right, enough. Let's cut to the chase. The clone list. And we're going to go in chronological order of release. And the first on our list is Josie and the Pussycats. It came out in September of 1970, so about a year after Scooby Doo. It was based on the Archie comics that went by the same name. And the main characters include Josie, Valerie, Melody. You got Alan, who is just like a buffer version of Freddy.
Hi there, I'm Freddy from Scooby Doo.
You got Alexander, who sounds just like Shaggy. It's the same voice actor.
Anchors away!
Oh, lucky we landed on a lumpy old pillow.
Who are you calling a lumpy old pillow?
You got his sister, Alexandra, who reminds me a lot of Veronica from the Archie comics. And of course, you need the animal mascot, who is this snickering cat named Sebastian. It's kind of a bummer because the comic itself wasn't just mystery. It was a lot more than that. There were more adventures and action, but when it came to the show, it became pretty obvious that they're like, just make it mysteries, whatever. Mirror it, make it like Scooby-Doo. Just who cares? Scooby-Doo worked, do it like Scooby-Doo. And that really was like the first time Hanna Barbera was like, okay, here we go. We're gonna start printing money. Funny enough, Scooby and his gang actually hung out with Josie and her gang. God, there's a lot of gangs in the Hanna Barbera universe.
Listen, we've got a bit of a problem, the gang and I.
Gang stuff, listen up.
Next, there's The Funky Phantom, released in September of 1971. By the way, all of these shows, for the most part, were released in September. That was just Hanna Barbera's specific month. They like to release stuff, so for now on, when I say the year, just assume it's September, because it is. But yeah, Funky Phantom. It's one of the more shameless clones on the list, because it really channels its inner Scooby-Doo. You got a bunch of teens driving around, solving mysteries with their sidekick ghost friend and his ghost cat. And you know what's even worse? Throw in a dog for good measure. Why the hell not? And not only was it ripping off Scooby Doo, it was also ripping off Snagglepuss. The ghost, he talks like this even.
What makes me think I'm so funky?
My name is Funky, but if you funk with me, you'll take a one-way ride in my SUV. Funky, Republic punk-ass bitch. You say I'm all those white, well, you can suck mine.
Okay, so, yeah, it's funky.
Don't ever let me become a voice actor, folks. I am just the worst. Then there's the amazing Chan and the Chan clan. Then there's the amazing Chan. I can't say the name. It's so out there. One more time. Here we go. Then there's the amazing Chan and the Chan clan from 1972. Now, this one is based on the Charlie Chan books and movies, which is like an old school property from, I believe, 1925. Instead of having 4 teenagers and a dog solving crimes, you got Charlie Chan and his, oh my God, bro, 10 kids? Oh, that's too many. That's way too many. And of course, there's a dog too. Got to have your animal mascot. You have to have your weird thing in there that's not normal. The non-humanoid thing that's always present in these clones. Now, I get that the gimmick of this show is so many kids, but legit, this is too many. There are way too many. I feel like this is like the dwarves from The Hobbit. They're just everywhere. And I get confused. It's overwhelming. Wait, who's what? I see what I assume to be Chinese Daphne, but that's really it. Everything else kind of just is a blob of characters. It's too much. But hey, at least they have a band. Yeah. Next, there's Goober and the Ghost Chasers from 1973. Out of all of the clones on this list, I consider this one to be the most like Scooby Doo. Teenagers solving crimes with a talking dog. That is like straight up as close to the format of Scooby Doo that you can get to. That is as close as you can get. And to top it all off, it's like they took Shaggy's soul, his personality, and put it in the dog. It's like some alchemy experiment that went wrong. And that's the result, is Goober.
Zoinks!
Who can turn invisible? Okay. He's got to have his thing. And you all will love this. So there is a laugh track in this cartoon. A lot of the Hanna Barbera cartoons had laugh tracks. And this particular show had occasions when they would rerun the episodes on Cartoon Network where the laugh track was muted. So it's like those videos that are the muted laugh tracks of The Big Bang Theory. So it's like these awkward silences where there should be laughter, but it's just quiet because the laugh track's gone, which in my opinion only makes the show that much funnier.
Gotta keep in practice, you know.
I've seen him play. He doesn't need practice.
Cut it out, will you?
Then there's Speed Buggy from 1973. So the inspiration behind this one is a bit more unique and interesting because it took inspiration from Disney's Love Bug and also from Speed Racer. But oh no, here comes the Scooby Doo formula. The teens, the mystery. My God, bro, you look a lot like Shaggy. And of course, the talking mascot, who is a car. It was only 16 episodes long anyway, so I guess you can call this show a bit of a car wreck. Next, there's Inch High Private Eye from 1973. Finally, we have main characters who are not teenagers. So that already makes it much more different compared to the rest of these shows. But we got 2 of the 3 main bullet points. You got the mystery solving, which is like a big part of this show. And then you have your gimmick, who is the detective, and he's small. Yeah, isn't that interesting? It's such a spin on things. And oh wait, I forgot that's right. He's not the only mascot. Of course, there is a dog mascot because Hanna Barbera loves dogs, and you better believe that like 3 out of 4 times there will be a dog in a Hanna Barbera cartoon in one way or another. After that, there's Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kids from 1973. Oh, come on. For real? We're just gonna throw an S on there and say it's a cartoon show? Okay, whatever. All right, so we got ourselves a teenage rock band. Ding, ding, ding. But this band lives a double life and also works as a crime-fighting team for the government. And there's a dog too. There it is, named Elvis. You know what? The more I think about it, this show wasn't just copying Scooby Doo, but like it saw Josie and the Pussycats and was like, don't mind me, gonna have a piece of that idea as well. Then there was Dynamite Dog Wonder from 1976. Hey, you were in the Scoob movie. So, disclaimer, to be fair to Dynamite, this pick I would consider to be one of the outliers on my chart. When it comes to like, here's Scooby-Doo clones, these are the shows that come close to it, and then you got Dynamite, who's like a bit of an outlier because it's similar, but not like to a T. That being said, Dynamite was initially packaged alongside Scooby-Doo with the Scooby-Doo Dynamite Hour from 1976. Next, there's Clue Club from 1976. Check, check, check. All right, moving on. Then there was Jabberjaw from 1976. Out of all of the clones on this list, and I've been saying that a lot, I know, but out of all of the clones on this list, Jabberjaw is the most out there. Just listen to the synopsis, hear me out. You got a rock band of 4 teenagers called the Neptunes, and along with them is a 15-foot great white shark named Jabberjaw. They live in an underwater civilization from the year 2076, and their team is constantly running around trying to stop supervillains from taking over the ocean. So when it comes to the premise of taking the Scooby format, at least Jabberjaw adds some flair to it. It's close, but it's different enough, and I give them credit for that. Also, I learned about the Three Stooges because of this show.
Oh, for God's sakes. You, the shark. No more from you today, okay?
Oh, and fun fact, despite Jabberjaw, of course, copying the format for Scooby-Doo to a degree, the show's creation was because of Jaws. How about that? I had no idea. Could you imagine that though? That instead of the shark from Jaws, it's Jabberjaw going around the beach destroying children? After that, there's Captain Caveman and the Teen Angels from 1977. We got the van. We got the teens. Hold on. It's just girls this time. Yeah, that's right, all girls. No boys allowed. Unless you're a Chad like Captain Caveman. I can't do it. I literally can't do it. I suck. I'm not a voice actor. Don't even try. But yeah, you got your mystery, you got your teens, you got your wacky mascot. Next. Oh, here we go. The last one. And it's called The Buford Files from 1978. It's just Scooby-Doo, but in the South. Like, that's it. You got a bloodhound named Buford, and he runs around with these 2 teens as they go off to solve crime. That's it. And you know what? After so many years of Hanna Barbera making Scooby clones, I think this was the moment where they were like, yeah, I think we've hit our peak. They were running out of creative steam. Though, let's be real here, there wasn't that much creativity to begin with.
Your clones are very impressive. You must be very proud.
In conclusion, Hanna-Barbera admittedly got crazy with making Scooby-Doo clones, and it does come across as a bit shameless. But personally, I don't think any less of them for it. These guys literally carried televised cartoons on their shoulders during the 1960s and 70s, and it's safe to say that animation wouldn't be where it is today if it wasn't for them. Now, when it came to making new cartoons, they had a pretty broad approach and made a ton of stuff. And a lot of that stuff is very iconic. There's also a lot that's not. A bunch of forgettable cartoons we never heard of. But to me, that's forgivable. Animation is not cheap, and they knew that they had to make every single show count. And that's why they relied so heavily on the Scooby Doo formula. Hopefully, the characters from the Hanna Barbera universe can make a name for themselves once more. Real talk, I am very pumped for this Jellystone cartoon. It's being developed by C.H. Greenblatt, who's the guy who made Chowder and Harvey Beaks. He's funny, he's talented, this show is in good hands. And hopefully, as well, it will be better than Scoob.
Apparently, he's been stealing Netflix by using his mother's account.
That is not fair for the rest of us who have to pay for Netflix.
You have to pay for Netflix?
Yeah.